Better, yeah.
Good evening. We're back. Welcome, esteemed panel of guests.
Woo! Yeah.
Or
right.
it'll do until the real esteemed panel gets here.
Gotta hold the seats for a moment.
How are you guys doing?
Good, good.
Feeling great, Brian.
great?
Yeah, it's great to be on the show.
It is. Every 6 weeks you get that call. It's time to come in. It's like jury duty.
It really is.
That feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've
Yep.
tried lots of excuses. It just doesn't pan out.
Jury duty with snacks that are nowhere near as good. We have a lot of announcements tonight, so we're going to get right to it. Check out the new Mighty 9 shirt in the brand new Critical Role online shop.
Woo!
Visit shop.critroll.com. It's an awesome shirt.
I'm very happy with
I'm
how it
very
turned
happy
out.
with
Yeah,
it.
that's exciting. I just got mine today. I rubbed
Neat.
it all over my body, and now it's ready to put on my shirt, my top.
Are you a never nude? You
how
wear
it
a
works.
shirt under
I
a
always
shirt?
have to just rub it all over.
Yeah.
I know, it's
Yep.
like a cat. I was gonna wear it, but I figured I'd do more,
Yeah.
be here for Pride instead.
Rocking
but-
that Dread singles shirt.
Damn right, yeah.
All right. Also, if you missed it, which I don't know how you could have, we made a pretty exciting announcement yesterday about our future. I'm going to wait for the camera to come back on me to continue talking
No.
because
All good. This is
wait,
Keep going. Keep
what
going.
happened is
there we go.
Max brought in a bunch of scratchers and they're all back there just
Oh, it's
trying
like
to
$1
see
billion,
if they can.
right?
Yeah. We made a pretty exciting announcement yesterday about our future. We just launched our very own YouTube and Twitch channels, which is crazy and amazing. Marisha has started working on new shows already, which will be uploaded to those new channels.
Yes.
Have no fear, though. Critical Role and Tox Machina will continue to broadcast on the Geek and Sundry Twitch channel and on Alpha, with the VODs uploaded to Geek and Sundry's YouTube channel as usual. Nothing.
none of that changes.
Nothing's changing in the way that you guys see the show. That's the most important thing. After Dark will continue to be available on Alpha only, for whatever reasons, whenever that was decided. In other words, nothing changes at all. But
everything changes.
everything changes at once. We are also moving into our brand new studio, which was shown off yesterday on that awesome video that you guys made.
So excited.
So, because we have to move to the new studio, there will not be an episode of Tox Machina on July 3rd or an episode of Critical Role on July 5th. Plan accordingly. Get together and play some D&D with your friends those nights.
Make use of it.
Make use
Celebrate the Independence Day of our fine nation.
of it. Yes. On the day between
Yeah.
the 4th of July.
Well, if you celebrate it right, it'll last 3 days.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. New show.
This'll be-
Sam's holiday tips.
This will be the Independence Day to celebrate with a lot of alcohol.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
totally.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
There's a quick recap of all the announcements on critroll.com that explains everything we talked about yesterday, so be sure to check that out. Rachel and everybody did a great job answering a lot of questions yesterday and clearing up any other additional questions that people had. We just want to say, though, that your support and love for our announcement was overwhelming, big time. We're
incredible.
constantly humbled by the love that you guys have for us, and
We were so nervous.
we were so nervous.
You're like, I don't know. I hope people are cool with
Yeah.
this. No,
Yeah.
There was a lot of nerves leading up into it. So
It was an exciting day, and
Yeah.
some of us jumped on and chatted with some of
Yeah.
the critters and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was really exciting to see everybody bubbling with the
Really
news and
pumped.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we promise to make you guys proud. Also, our last note, I will be back on Asinine Wisdom 1 week from tonight after Tox Machina for the season premiere.
Back on. You've
Alpha.
done it before?
They're having me come back as a guest again, so
Wow.
hide your kids, hide your wife. It's that time. That's June 26th after Tox Machina. Without further ado, let us discuss episode 23 of Critical Role Campaign 2, Have Bird Will Travel.
how it works?
Yeah, music plays during that
It goes,
graphic, and then it comes back.
Bum.
Yeah, I did not know that until last time I was here.
Oh, yeah. Well, look at that. We've all learned something today,
It
but you
sounds
know this.
similar to the music that we normally hear out of that speaker that isn't coming out of there tonight.
Oh,
Oh, it just started.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness, there's music.
Guys,
So
I
excited.
like that voice. Keep that for an NPC.
Oh, don't worry. Yes. That guy's somewhere in Wildmount, I'm sure.
Before you get to your dumb questions, Brian,
Yeah.
Can I just jump in and say that someone pointed out to me recently that no NPC, or PC for that matter, has ever had a French accent. Can you not do a French accent?
Of course I can.
Why have we not had a French accent?
Well, to be honest, I do not want to have every single type of dialect or accent explored if you haven't been all over the entire world. So perhaps there are places in the world that you have not been, or you have not encountered somebody who had to be considered a real-world analogy to the French. I don't know.
What would be an analogy to the French?
I don't know. You have to come across
The
it.
pitch fiend.
You have to come across it.
Jester could decide she wants a nice baguette, and then they have to go to the part of, Exandria where the baguettes are.
Well, Whitestone, probably.
Whitestone, yeah.
No, and you guys have been in the Empire, and you haven't been too far onto the Menagerie Coast, so we shall see if you ever find your way there. My apologies.
I think you've proven he can do one.
Yes, I have.
I think we were both a little disappointed when he did it so well. We have some crit roll stats for this episode, courtesy of our friends at Crit Roll Stats. The Mighty Nine has now rolled 99 natural ones.
So stop here.
So stop
So
here.
don't roll any more after this point. We're good.
You guys realize this money isn't going to charity anymore, right? Like if you
We're
roll
holding out
one.
hope.
Yeah.
Not currently has the lead with 22.
Boy.
Yeah, baby.
Is this all on the same dice?
I only ever roll one die. Yeah.
Even when you need to roll a d6?
No, I rolled.
The math gets really
that's
weird.
okay, right?
Yeah, sure.
No, I only ever rolled the 1d20, and I think maybe I'm rolling so bad this campaign because of Laura.
Oh.
I feel like her bad luck, or
Yeah.
her, I don't know, she's rubbing off on it
Or
somehow.
Mojo's.
Could
like,
be.
yeah. As of this episode, the Mighty Nine has been traveling together for over a month now.
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's some hardcore, fast-acting friendship time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've learned so much.
You guys are such a tight-knit family.
Yep. Yeah. I know, it's interesting, a lot of the questions we get going really deep into how characters feel about each other. Sometimes, got to remember, they've only known each other a month. So
Yeah.
in some ways,
Yeah. And some experiences you'll bond faster, and some others you'll be worried and have to figure it out. That's kind of what's really fun about this campaign is, you guys are getting to see that ground floor kind of relationship development. So it's fascinating from my standpoint. Half the time I have to remind myself to keep setting scenes and doing things. I'm just watching you guys role play, and
yeah.
oh right,
Yeah.
roll dice, make notes.
It's been some good RP this season.
It's fun.
Last season too. No spoilers.
No.
I just love party conflict.
Yeah.
Like respectful party conflict.
Yeah.
There's a type of party conflict that's really not fun
Right.
in games. But like when everyone players on the same page and they're
Yeah, yeah,
exploring
yeah.
that dynamic, it can be really interesting.
Yeah.
And in many cases lead to some of the strongest, friendships down the road. Hopefully, we'll see.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Anyway, questions.
If you stay alive. Kiri has imitated people 82 times.
Oh, wow.
Yay!
So,
These imitations are incredible, man.
Yep.
Incredible.
Oh boy.
Sam, we're going to kick things off with a question for you from Lakanda Lawa. I said that perfectly. Which was the greater achievement, Sam, winning an Emmy or the D&D Beyond theme song video?
Ooh, boy. I would have to say the D&D Beyond theme song, because that was a thing that I just came up with, and it became an anthem for a generation, if I may be completely honest.
Sure, sure. Sure, downplay it.
I mean, I'm just being humble, but it is the song of our generation.
Yes, yes. It replaced Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball as the song of our generation.
And thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ooh, maybe we could get Miley Cyrus on. Anyway.
Sure.
But no, my Emmy Award win is super duper awesome, and a professional a pinnacle achievement and bucket list, all that great stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, the theme song was I got to write it, and then we got to make it. So that's even more fun.
Yeah, it's true. Turned out really good.
Yeah. Also, to get the Emmy took like two years of work on this one cartoon, but the D&D Beyond theme song took like 15, 20 minutes.
Dang.
So,
Dang.
So time committed versus reward.
Yeah,
I think overall it's a
way
better
better.
experience.
Yeah, makes sense. Who knows? Maybe you'll get like a streamy for that or something.
ooh. They
That'd be
still have
cool.
those?
I don't know.
I think so.
Probably.
Is the Webby a
I
thing?
stopped getting invited
Webby's
the
still
first
around.
year.
Well, the streamers keep emailing saying, "Hey, pay us, so we might pretend to give you an award."
Oh, really? That's how it works?
I don't
He's
know.
throwing streamy
Oh,
shade
man.
right now. I love
Yeah,
it.
No,
let's
man.
throw some streamy shit.
I have a history with the streamies.
You do?
Long tumultuous history, yeah.
What'd you do? Bring Taliesin with you one year?
Oh, well, no, that's a whole different experience.
Yeah.
No, my very
Those were different types of stream that they were doing
No,
at
I
that
directed a
party.
web series like 10 years ago, and they invited us and so like we want to include your series in this huge montage of like the big series of the year. So I spent 3 days like rapidly editing down this clip for them to use and send it their way, and they brought us out there and they were gonna have a whole announcement thing and cut it from the show.
Oh, dang.
Oh, no.
And
whoa.
so that was my first experience there.
Yeah.
And then after that, it turned into kind of a. Well, anyway, this is live on the internet. Hey guys, streamings are great.
No, I get it. Yeah, streamies are great. We like the Webbies better. I don't know if that's a thing or not.
Webby's around.
Oh, yeah, Webbies? All right, we like the Webbies better. Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Save yourself from bringing down the streamies by answering this question from Arone_Mac. Did the battle with the Marrow play out to be more difficult than you had imagined? If so, how much of that was due to not staying behind and the player's strategy?
I think to some degrees it played out pretty close to what I wanted. If not had been there, it probably would have been a little bit easier in that regard. But also the placement of some of the characters led to some shifting moments, positive and negative. Like a lot of encounters you put together as a dungeon master, you're kind of hoping, engaging, it'll be challenging, but not too crushing. There were, with the lack of nut, it was a little more challenging, I guess, to answer the question, than I expected at moments.
Yeah.
I mean, there was even a moment there where tactically, as everyone saw me pause, and I was like trying to think it over, because I was taking a high risk, high reward kind of maneuver there for it. But yeah, to answer the question, I'd say now that I think about it, probably a little harder than I originally intended, but mostly because Not wasn't present, and
Because Not's the best.
yeah, and it also depends on when they
Best
showed up
fighter.
too.
Yeah.
Because having the two Marrow show up later in the battle, I don't know where they're going to be at the moment when they show up with that one combat round, and so that can end up being a really, really terrible thing for either side. Who knows?
Yeah.
We're throwing things at the walls as dungeon masters and hope they work. So
Yeah. In this case, it did.
hopefully.
Yeah.
I love, by the way, can I just say, as a player who has played under you, and by that I mean under your body for many years now, I love when the battle changes like halfway through or something, or,
Yeah.
or when the map changes, or when new people come in, or where there's a carefully laid trap that doesn't spring till halfway through. That stuff's the best.
I
They're so good
agree.
at that.
And there's a lot of there's actually been a lot of battles that have had traps laid up that nobody triggered.
Oh,
They're
really?
waiting for it. Everyone's just avoiding it. And I'm like, all right. But no, to me, it's you have quick combats. You have for more protracted combats to keep it interesting. You want to have almost different moments, different beats where things change up and shift, where the players feel like their strategy is locked and they have this in the bag, and then something changes the dynamic entirely, and everyone has to rethink what they had planned. Those keep things fresh and interesting. But you can't do it too often because then it's almost expected. So you have to pick and choose the battles where you get to do that.
But for you, the combat itself has an arc, just like the story elements.
I try
do,
to,
right?
and it depends. Sometimes some battles get cleaned up a lot faster than I expected, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, that's well played to you guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
And some battles, strategically, things just go awry on the player side, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so sorry. So I'm just wiping up.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun is that I don't ever know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, until you get the script on Thursday mornings.
Right. And then I have to get to proofread it and get my team together. That's great.
Check all the character name spelling. Sam, Meg M. Hannah says, where does Not's fear of water come from? Is it a goblin thing, or did she have a bad water experience similar to Ford's?
You know, the water thing, I just invented while we were playing. But because I thought it would be fun. But in episodes since then, between episodes, I've gone back, and there is a backstory element thing that may eventually get revealed. About why she has a fear of water, but no, when I first said it on whatever early episode it was, I was like, no, that was just made. I just made that up.
Oh wow, wow.
I don't know.
You have to write it into the backstory. Now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Matt, Rhetoric Storm says, when a player makes a character choice to avoid combat, not refusing to swim through the tunnel to help face the marrow, do you adjust combat difficulty to not penalize the other players or let it play out as designed?
Good question.
I play it as designed, partially because I've designed the encounter. I guess it depends on the experience the players do. If they're new players and your experience with them has been kind of suboptimal strategy because they're still getting used to the system or how they work together as a team, then maybe you might want to adjust on the fly. For me, I also want to show that there are consequences for making these character choices. I'm not saying it's a bad choice, but I don't want the players to feel like, well, it's fine, only 4 of us will go in because the combat will adjust for 4 players.
Yeah.
Because Not wasn't there, the battle got a little harder than it would have been normally. But that's what making a character choice comes with. And so yeah, I wouldn't adjust it for me personally, but situationally. It may be helpful or in some cases necessary to not, detract from everyone having fun at the table.
Do you ever add extra loot at the end and then be like, oh, look what you missed out on, all this extra loot if you would've
they've
been
missed
there.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't tell them what they missed usually.
Yeah.
I just tease them about it. But low investigation rolls in some hords, or not finding secret pathways or hidden chambers and stuff.
Sam, is there any stuff that Thursday nights after the game it keeps you awake? Is there any stuff that you go, not necessarily like, oh, why did I sing so out of key tonight, or but plot elements and stuff like that where you roll too low on an insight check or something? Do you ever go home thinking about the game and going like, what is that?
Yeah, of course, all the time. I mean, Matt paints such a good picture that sometimes we know when we missed something, or we know that maybe we missed something, and it's always bothersome to think about oh, what was that? That could have been something. And sometimes it'll be a more important story beat or a more important moment where it almost seems like he gives us more than one chance.
Yeah.
He'll say you roll a history check or something, and someone rolls low, and he's like, how about you roll a history check? And someone else rolls low, and everyone's like, well, I guess we just missed it then.
Yep. Well, it's one of those things where if it's a piece of information that might be widely known, and I'm given that opportunity, it's one of those you would probably be the most likely to know this.
Yeah.
All right, you didn't fail. Would anybody else be likely? You might.
Yeah.
And it's one of those scenarios where I might adjust the DC based on if one person fails, maybe make it higher until eventually, if you all fail.
If we all fail, that's the worst.
You missed it.
That's the worst.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
But only if it's super acute knowledge. If it's general knowledge, and I try not to make you guys roll it too often. Sometimes it's just fun to make the roll happen, so you feel like, oh, that skill was useful.
Yeah.
When I would have just told you anyway. But you don't know when that happens.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Maybe he'll develop a tell eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if the internet hasn't figured out my tells by now, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah, I'm on most of the message boards.
I've been deconstructed over 4 years now.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Pay attention.
There's a lot of footage of you. I bet some clever programmer could program a Matt face to just
Don't put ideas.
Don't
to
put
just
ideas in your head.
be a DM.
Yeah, like an AI.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Just a malfunctioning robot.
Sigil.
Yeah.
Checks out.
As you crest the mountains, you see the city is being attacked.
The city. Definitely attack the city.
Sam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cuddlefish333 wants to know, how does not feel...
Sorry. I believe in you, Kaya.
How does not feel about sitting out most of the fight with the Marrow people and Caleb coming so close to death?
Not feels terrible about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Not what she wanted or expected, but she just didn't want to go in that water, man.
Yeah,
you
it's the
know,
water
it's
thing.
I not feels awful about it. Sam Riegel feels great about it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I not to like mess with my fellow players, but I love situations where it doesn't look like it's going well, or we make mistakes or fall into traps or shoot ourselves in the foot. I love all that stuff. But yeah, of course, not feels terrible and guilty. And yeah, for sure. And then the night before, right? If I'm doing my math right, she also got Caleb in trouble for the whole bowl thing. She had a rough night, rough couple days.
Weekend.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to affect her relationship with Caleb?
Maybe. They haven't really talked about it.
It could really. I'm just thinking, you know, if I came close to death and one of my friends was in the corner eating beef jerky, I'd be. Matt, Nutella ice cream.
Great name.
How much of adding Kiri was wanting to prove you could pull off Jester's accent?
Funnily enough, it wasn't at all. And then when the moment arose, I was like, you know what? Sure. I guess it does give me the opportunity.
Yeah.
No, I'd originally wanted there to be a series of possible encounters. Like you've seen me do it when they're traveling and stuff, where I'll occasionally roll to see if they have any sort of weird encounter while they're on the road. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Last time we saw it when they came across the same remaining bandits.
Yeah.
From
We
the
gotta
first
see
time.
them again and again and again, right? Please say they're coming back.
I mean,
like a
we'll
Monty Python bit.
We'll see. We'll see if you've had a further impact on adjusting their course in life. But Kiri was one of those encounters that I'd kind of I wanted to throw a Kenku presence in the world because we haven't had a chance to do that yet, as well as show the opportunity that a lot of creatures, a lot of people are, while the armies are moving towards the side of the war, certain people are moving away from it that aren't necessarily true members of the Empire.
Yeah.
And so Kiri was designed to be that, and I wanted to have a Kenku presence in there. I thought it'd be a fun role-playing encounter. But I expected them to half ignore it, and they almost did.
Yeah.
When they were hearing the sounds in the distance.
Yeah.
So it was one of those, like, you don't know if this is a good or a bad sound. What are you doing? Keep moving. Okay, they'll never know.
Yep.
But they stuck with it, and
Now we have a bird
and now you have a
daughter.
bird. You have like a 6 hit point bird daughter.
6 hit points.
She's a baby practically.
I thought that she was a little hardier than that. Oh my God.
Oh man, I don't know what you guys are gonna do.
We keep bringing her into battle.
I know.
That's terrible.
I know. And I'm gonna take the blame.
6 hit points.
Wow.
Yeah, she shouldn't be anywhere near any of Caleb's fire spells. That's for sure. This a cone
man.
spell? Yeah. I grab Kiri and move her into a cage somewhere.
She's got a dagger though, and you guys are teaching her a lot of very
That's
interesting habits.
Sure. She stabbed a lot of things.
Yep. Dagger, dagger, dagger. She's got the T-shirt.
Oh man, yeah, no. Kiri was just, I thought it'd be a fun encounter, an interesting way of showing kind of those aspects of the world around them. I didn't expect Kiri to be around with them this long if they didn't encounter her, and I have no idea what they're going to do with her.
Yeah.
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 You have not presented anyone worthy of taking a bird off our hands. So we're
You
just
guys
gonna...
haven't really looked.
That's true.
Yeah.
But we were in that crappy town. Who there is going to want to take a sweet little Kiri?
I mean, it's not
guess we
a
could've
newborn
looked.
baby. It won't need as much care
Maybe
and
there was a
attention
bird
as, like,
orphanage right around the corner. We never even
You'll
looked.
never know. Barrel bends
damn
behind you. Maybe Upperduke has better luck, or just take her with you forever.
Yeah.
Humperdink.
Raise. Oh my God, that's going to be stuck in my head.
Don't say it Thursday instead of upper deck. Don't say Humperdink instead of upper deck. Dude, if you say it during the stream, I'm gonna lose my shit. Oh man.
My God. Oh, I almost went out my nose.
I apologize. Let's give away some free shit.
Let's do that. Yes.
You guys sent in some awesome gifts this week, but like Sam's Emmy category, we can only choose one winner, and it's Sam.
Hi.
You won gift of the week, buddy.
I did?
Congratulations.
Oh,
Congrats,
wow.
man.
I win everything.
Just kidding.
Oh.
Up first, it's gift of the week. That Dagon question make it in? Did the one about Dagon make it in? Okay, good. All right. Our winner for episode 23 of Campaign 2 was sent in by James Earl It's just a James Earl, AKA at just James Earl. Let's take a look.
I'll run up in fire. The bolt hits.
Wait, do let me stop it? Don't. Just keep hitting it.
Fire again. Oh,
Relentless endurance.
oh, look at
Here it
this.
comes to-
This is a long gift.
It is.
Gonna take a hit and pop into it.
Wake up already. Thanks. That didn't go the way I planned.
Wow,
That was good.
that
Yeah,
was epic.
we liked that one because it had a lot of
Yeah, effects.
razzle and dazzle.
Yeah.
Congrats to you, James Earl. You have won this
You did it.
Yay!
Dalen's
Good question.
Dalen's Closet.
Closet T-shirt and Critical Role pendant.
Yes. Whoa, look at that zoom. That was like a kung fu picture.
Welcome. You can submit your gifts for our weekly contest by emailing them to, what is it, Danny?
Submit at talksmachina.com.
Excellent. Moving on.
Do you have a mic over there now?
She does.
do.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
finally.
How about that? Sam,
Yeah, yeah.
Not a Pyramid wants to know. What do you think about that, Max?
It's a little square.
Not a Pyramid?
I don't get it.
He doesn't get it. I don't either. After Kiri repeated part of Nott and Caleb's private conversation to the rest of the group,
Yes.
has Nott's opinion of her changed?
You mean before when Nott thought she was so adorably cute and the cutest little innocent little child, but now because of that one thing, Nott wants to fucking kill her.
Yes, that's exactly what they're asking.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Okay.
That's
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
No, she's a
dime.
kid. She doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
Nott should have known better there was a recording device in the room, you know?
Yeah.
She should have known better. But, you know, it's hard to get used to this thing that selectively repeats certain information that only is hilarious or well-timed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to live with a soundboard,
Yeah.
but
It's like someone doing this to you.
lesson learned.
Hard
Yeah.
to live with a soundboard, I think, is some of the best wisdom you've come up with in
Yeah,
a while
yeah.
there.
Chris, how hard is it?
Pretty tough.
Pretty tough.
Oh, sorry, Chris.
Matt, Caddy Wampus asks,
Wampus.
how stoked are you whenever someone says something dumb and or reveals secrets in front of Kiri?
Oh, it's the best. I have just a list of notes
Yeah.
of various things I get to pull from. It is very much a soundboard. You guys
Yeah.
are just filling my soundboard, and I
Yeah.
get to mess with them. So it's exciting. I have to stop myself from being in the moment when
Yeah.
it hits me. Like half the time I'm paying attention to try and listen for possible fun things to say, and then the other half I'm just absorbed in the story. So occasionally I'm like, oh wait, what did they say? I don't remember. Damn it. But no, it's been a blast.
Have you ever thought about hiring a scribe to sit under the table there and take furious notes for you so you can just focus on making sure you get the rules right?
That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have your leg warmers down there, and then
Sure.
he puts his feet in one of those things.
Ooh, the vibrating things. I love
Yes.
those from Sharper Image. When that was a
Sharper
thing.
Image. Yeah. Hey, anyone out there at Sharper Image, if you want to sponsor
I don't think so.
Sam, legally get us out of what I just said with an answer to this question by Islander Scaper. What was going through Nott's head when Kiri began repeating elements of her backstory?
Is landerscaper maybe? Maybe they're a landscaper?
Why are you wasting time
Sorry.
questioning
I wasn't paying
how
any
I
attention.
pronounced the
What
name?
was
I
going through
obviously
Nott's
got
head
it.
when Kiri began repeating elements of her backstory. What was going through Nott's head was no, please stop.
Stop
don't,
immediately.
Don't say that word. No.
Was it enough information coming out that made you want to get aggressive at any point, or was that not in your? Was it like
I don't think she would ever get aggressive against a
bird?
little Riri
Kiri.
Kiri. But But no, it was a little panic. I don't think Not likes a lot of attention on herself in many circumstances, and that drew unnecessary attention and to her history. And I don't know if she loves everyone to know everything about her.
Yeah, interesting.
But it's going to come out sooner or later. So good job, Kiri. Good job. Good job.
That's Matt's way of pushing the story along. Hurry up, man, get it out.
Yeah, I applaud it. Yeah, again, as Sam Riegel, I think that was brilliant.
I just applaud you guys.
Yeah, I
It's
love
fun.
it. I love it.
Let's have the fun.
What I was thinking about earlier, Matt, Carrie Berry Gamer says, how much does Dagon influence your Kiri mannerisms?
Tremendous.
For those who don't know, Dagon is
don't know what Dagon
Matt and Marisha's bird.
Oh, I do know.
Well,
Dagon.
if you would come to any of the...
I thought that was a reference to a movie or something. I
No,
don't
it's
know.
not.
Yes, I know your
Just
bird.
a reference to a member of their family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. She can be bitchy at times. Dagon, yeah. I mean, being a bird owner, so careful. Being a bird owner, you pick up on so many mannerisms that you didn't before.
Yeah.
I've learned to love birds. You know, I didn't think I'd ever have a bird as a pet growing up. I was always a cat and dog family growing up, so it was like a bird, okay, I guess. And birds are amazing. I had no idea they had so much personality. So yeah, having Dagon for a while kind of helped me pick up on those mannerisms, and that was part of the reason me picking the Kenku was we have a fun opportunity to kind of play in that space and see if I can, utilize some of that knowledge in raising her.
Yeah, that's cool. I miss Dagon. Dagon's great.
I know.
Sam,
Yeah.
Wormstash Inc. wants to know, not let Bo take care of Caleb after the troll fight. Is she starting to trust the rest of the Mighty Nine more, or is Bo the exception since Caleb seemed to trust her with his backstory?
I think that Bo is the exception, and Bo has weirdly proven herself to be trustworthy and hasn't spilled the beans about what was said to her, and has been keeping an eye on Caleb, it seems like, and has been protective and has been weirdly sensitive to him, even though sometimes she can be abrasive.
Yeah.
Sometimes, always, but still,
Every other
she not can tell it comes from a place of caring, or at least, teammateness.
Yeah, teammateness.
Teammateness.
How proud are you as a DM to hear him say teammateness?
Confused.
Come a long ways. Come a long ways.
Yeah.
Still a few more miles to go before we're home.
Before we sleep.
Any more?
No, sir. I want to see you give away this next thing.
All right. Well, our next giveaway is for you fans that create and send in incredible art from moments during Critical Role's Fan Art of the Week. This week's fan art winner was sent in by Josh Freeman, aka at Obey My Brain. Let's take a look.
Oh, wait,
yes.
wasn't this just like yesterday or today? This is so good.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
Love it.
The croc. Oh, man. Oh, I didn't notice Yasha's expression.
Oh, it's so good. And for those who haven't been to the Haunted Mansion or seen the Haunted Mansion art at any of the Disney parks, this is directly a reference to that, and it's really well done.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Rest in peace, dear beloved Lucian.
There's
So great.
not.
So awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
That turned out really well.
Such a good recreation.
Thanks to everyone who submitted, and congrats to you. You have won this
Yeah.
box Machina Origins comic signed by the cast of
Wait,
Critical Role.
signed? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
don't even
beautiful.
have one of
It
those.
slices, it dices. Spoilers! Just kidding. A reminder for those who submit, please include how you'd like to be credited if you win. And just a reminder that our giveaways are currently only available to people in the U.S., Canada, excluding Quebec. Moving on. This is beautiful. I may just read this now.
Okay, you want us to just carry on?
Well, why don't you guys do some of the voices? No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Ryan,
I apologize.
Apologize.
Thursday night, that was so great. Such a good little Deadwood reference.
Oh my
I love
God.
it. NFLD Nerd Travis
Travis.
has a question for you, Matt. Were you expecting the party to immediately go after the Venom troll? How close were they to dying if they didn't get slowed by Caleb?
Oh, that would have been bad. For Ford especially. I mean, they would have taken it out, but they probably would have lost somebody.
Oof.
Or been very close. It's one of the Venom Troll is one of my favorite creatures in the new Tome of Foes because it has one of those essentially punishing to melee capabilities, and so it leads to a lot of very tactical combat for a party that is somewhat melee heavy, like this one is.
Yeah.
This is a brand new monster?
It came out relatively
Yeah, it's
recently,
from Mordecai's
Wow.
Tomb of Foils, or whatever you were calling it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Mordecai's Room of Toes.
Room of Toads, yeah.
That's a good monster.
Room of Toads.
The Room of Toes. Oh,
Yeah. You need a toe? I can get you a toe.
But no, I wasn't sure if they were going to go back for it. You know, I was like, well, they know it's dangerous. They could probably sneak by it. I had prepared just in case. I didn't expect them to throw dynamite in there and blow up the area. Definitely, I wasn't expecting them to go right for it, and they did a good job of doing a lot of damage before it could get up into the fray.
Yeah.
In retrospect, we could have done so much better. Like, it was in a closed space. We could have trapped it in there. We could have set the place on fire.
Yeah, there were a lot of options.
We could have done all kinds of stuff. Even just that simple, like, that saran wrap trick where they just walk into it.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah, anything. But no, instead I threw in the weakest stick of dynamite ever, and then we all scrambled around in the mud while it tried to kill us.
Yeah.
Like threw an M80 into there. Yep.
I mean, it still took like
2?
Well, no. Oh, you rolled 2 for that one, and then it was a 3d6 damage, and then it was siege, so it did double damage to the tree around it.
Yeah.
Which is how it blew apart.
Way more damage to the tree and to me than the troll.
Equivalent to you in the troll.
Yeah. Just as shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam,
Yo, G.
Drunk Graffinsky asks, which is stronger, Knott's love for Caleb or Sam's love for Liam?
Oh, boy. I would have to say Sam's love for Liam, because Liam kisses back.
It's so true, though. He does.
I'd say Sam's love for Liam.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known Liam like half my life now.
Yeah. All work, no bay.
Yeah. Yep.
Matt, going back to talking about dynamite, actually, from a minute ago, Brett Bartle says, with dynamite being introduced into this campaign, do you think you'll have to prepare for your builds to be destroyed more often?
Depends on if they get their hands on more of it and find it a viable means of, going after elements of the battlefield.
How rare is it? Have you talked about that yet?
No, I mean, it's like any black powder-based materials are still relatively fresh. In fact, finding it in the mines, it's more recent discovery for use of that purpose in blasting mines and everything beneath the ground. But it's out there.
We're in a town now with some guns.
If there was a town to find some, this would be the one, probably. But also keep in mind there are dangers to using it and rolling poorly in attempting to throw it. Fuses can have radically different periods depending on how well you trim it or if you don't. So yeah, it's kind of a fun little mini game, if you will, if they wanted to utilize it.
Yeah.
But then you have to think about what's the best way to open a combat if you wanted to. Is the dynamite more useful to throw in like they did with that battle, or is it better for outside of combat uses? And even then, how expensive is it?
Yeah.
How many people want to give it away, or if it's functional use? We'll see.
Yeah. Is it the kind where if you shake it, it explodes, so you gotta be careful when you're traveling,
There's a kind of dynamite where you shake it and it explodes.
We'll find out.
Yeah. The old shaky explosion dynamite.
Shake weight.
Sam,
Yes, sir.
Running Wolf 19 asks, does Knott secretly wish she could tell Caleb everything that's going on with her?
For sure she does. Yeah, of course.
Is it a timing thing, or is it more of you're still letting the relationship build?
Well, a lot of times on our show, it's finding a downtime moment
Yeah.
where everyone isn't making dick or drug jokes.
Yeah.
That we can actually just have a serious conversation. But yeah, just finding a quiet moment, a quiet time. But yeah, I think Nod would tell Caleb whatever he asked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's been some moments that they've had together where Caleb just hasn't asked anything.
Interesting. Caleb needs to do some more
She
inquiring.
needs to do some Marisha digging.
Yeah.
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 And that's an inquisitive monk.
That
She
is.
wants to know everything,
Yep.
and I love her for it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's part of her character. I love
Yeah.
it. It's been really fun to have a character that just like,
Yeah.
yo, tell me.
What's up with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd you get that scar? I don't want to talk about it. Bullshit, talk about it. Okay.
Why's your face like that? Why's your face look like that? Matt,
Yes.
Fire and Ice wants to know, what
Ice.
made you decide to play the Ford patron scenes regarding the cat's eye in front of all the players instead of just one-on-one?
Because from the storytelling standpoint, it was more visceral for me to have it happen immediately in the moment as opposed to having to go through the process, telling everyone to leave and come back. And as we're going along with the story, those mystery moments, I'm picking and choosing.
Yeah.
Because now the players have an inkling that things are going on between different characters, and unless it's really important information for that character and solely that character to know, I don't see the harm in letting other players be present and trusting that they can role play, and not metagame their character knowledge of that scenario.
Yeah.
So I pick and choose. Earlier in the campaign, I was kind of, because all the characters were a mystery to each other, but now they're all learning little bits about each other, and they're starting to open up a little bit. It's not as necessary in some circumstances.
Yeah.
So, and for that moment, I thought it was more fun to kind of play it up because it was him having this vision and them also watching him just kind of space out and then take this thing and jam it into his abdomen. It made
Yeah.
for a good visceral smash cut to the party around going, what are you doing?
Yeah. I imagine you have to keep track of everyone's backstory and obviously coming up with all the different threads and stuff within the campaign. How big a part of your process is that?
For this group, it's pretty big. Only because they write such great characters, and I want elements of those stories to affect the story they play through.
Yeah.
And some will come to more fruition more recently. Others will be sometimes long game. There are some backstories that I don't think will, really, not even say resolve, but come to a head until probably much later in the campaign, just by the nature of their story.
Yeah.
But it excites me to drop threads as we go. It engages and ties their experience to the world that I've built, so they don't feel this entirely separate, removed entity.
Yeah.
And to me, it always feels to the player that the stakes are higher when the story that they wrote and that they're living is affecting the active world around them. That doesn't mean you have to build the story entirely around them, but give the option for them to resolve elements of character backstory. Give them the option to feel like that they are part of this world that's living and breathing.
Yeah.
And if they choose to pursue threads, let them carry it and see where it goes. And if not, drop little hints about how elements of their story might be damaging or at least creating more mystery about where they came from.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a unique balance to try and focus on the story I want to tell and where they're going, and then lay out the tracks in front of them based on the choices they make and the direction they go, but also figuring out when, based on their travel, would be a good time to drop a thread and be like, you could possibly look into this.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of these characters I've had moments where I'm like, ooh, I could bring this thing, I could bring this thing, I could bring this thing in, and I'm like, nope, holding off, wait until a moment comes where it makes sense.
Yeah.
They're close enough to a location or an NPC that's part of that story. So yeah, we'll see as it plays out. It's a lot. There's a lot going on up here.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to go crazy.
Yeah.
In the
Eventually,
next
but
couple years. Yeah.
we'll squeeze every dollar out of you that we can before you do, Matt.
That's why we're friends, Brian. I know I can trust you.
Sam.
Yo.
Paxford asks, how do you feel about Molly accepting the bandits' apologies even after they damaged not so much?
Is that what happened? Molly just like said, okay. Well, what are we gonna do? Kill them?
Molly said, which one did you hurt? And they were like, the little goblin girl. And he was like, that's fine.
I mean, we're not gonna kill them all, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
We could have, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
But they just seem so dumb.
Yeah.
They should just go.
Yeah. They should just go.
They should just be fine and just go.
They should just
They're
walk
too
off
dumb
into
to hurt. So I think it's okay. I mean, if left up to Nod, I'm sure she would have had dealt a harsher punishment, but it's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. They're harmless.
Yeah. Too dumb to be dangerous. Yeah. That's what they say about me around here. Zoondox has a question for you, Matt. Did the party's excitement for Humperdinck, I'm sorry, I shouldn't do that. Did the party's excitement for Humperduke influence your design of the town, or did you know what kind of place it would be before they ever heard the name?
I knew what kind of place it would be, loosely fleshed out.
Yeah.
Then as we've played through the campaign, I'm fleshing out different towns and stuff. So once they really kind of let it known that this is a place we would like to eventually go, as a DM, you take that hint and begin fleshing that out even further, because that seems like a very possible future destination. So I had a loose idea of what I wanted it to be, and then as they began to hone in on that as an eventual destination, I began to flesh it out further and further.
Has there been a time when they said, oh, we want to go here, and you haven't had time to like really flesh it out, and then you've just done it on the spot, describing where they end up?
In this campaign, not so much, because thankfully they're at the speed of foot and horse.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah.
So earlier campaigns, it's a lot easier to develop based on the pace they're going.
But when you're bamfing later on.
Yeah, as you saw in the end of the last campaign, when they can just teleport around the world, then it becomes a real issue of okay, well, you're going there. Let's see what comes up. That's happened a number of times in the last campaign.
Do you just start describing cities from movies you've seen? Or there's a yellow brick road, and there's a lot of lollipops, and little lollipop guild comes up to you, and
essentially, I mean,
a bunch of newspaper boys, and they're all singing with hats.
That's kind of how it is. Like and for people who are DMing in a similar situation who are watching this, like, make a bold choice that makes it stand out against other places they've been. You can be a very basic town, but have something about it that makes it unique or different from other destinations they've traveled past, whether it be a conflict that's happening, or a unique part of the social structure, or some
Raver gnomes.
Or Raver gnomes. That works too. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait for this Thursday.
I know, I'm so excited.
But yeah, in those situations, you just kind of make it up as you go. You instinctually make choices based on what makes sense for where they are, and you just improvise the rest of it. It's reactionary, honestly. Like, ask the players, like, well, what are you looking for? Well, we're in the city. Do you see any inns or taverns around? They can be like, you do. You see these two taverns nearby. They seem to be competing, and they have people on both sides that are staring each other down and are trying to, poach customers from the other side.
Yeah.
That is all reactionary. Those taverns didn't exist until the players said they're looking for a tavern.
Yeah.
So if you're ever in that space where you're like, I don't know what to tell them, don't be afraid to ask the players what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And then yes and based on what they're requesting or seeking.
Right.
And then you just kind of let it unfurl. It's like watching the fog, a fog of war slowly dissipate as you're creating it together with the party.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite moments in DMing actually, is when you're bereft of any real preparation and you're having to make it up on the spot and do so with a confidence that does not reveal your absolute insecurity and terror in the moment.
Yeah, you do a good job of hiding it.
I hope so.
Until the break, when you start sweating, and crying, and
sobbing
throwing
in the corner.
shit at Max and everybody.
Vomiting everywhere.
Vomiting everywhere.
Yeah.
Sam.
Yes.
JTIF Games says the following. Save Brian from thinking of a segue with an answer to this question. Do you ever practice for your ads ahead of time, or do you just write the script and wing it?
Practice for my ad, like say it out loud. I guess he means do I?
Yeah, like
do
your
I
D&D
read
Beyond
it out loud?
ads.
I mean, for the D&D Beyond theme song or things where it's like I have to perform something. Yeah, I'll rehearse it in my head or in the car or whatever.
I think they're asking if you write them ahead of time or if you come up with them on the spot most of the time.
Yeah, I definitely
The ones with
write
props,
them
you definitely write ahead of time.
I write them ahead of time.
How far ahead of time?
In the car on the way over
Sometimes
here.
the day of, usually not usually, sometimes the day of at lunch, because I have a 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock break that day.
Yeah.
But then recently I've been trying to do it on like Tuesday or Monday nights, just so I don't have to like stress about it during the day on Thursday. So like, for instance, the one for this week, I wrote today, and I think that JTIF Games will like it because it kind of is about what his question is.
Oh, interesting. Ooh, interesting.
Look at that.
Now I can't wait.
Oracle shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who weren't going to watch this Thursday, but now they are.
For the mystery.
Yeah.
Yep. Matt,
Yes.
Sketty on Toast has a question about one of definitely the standout NPCs of the campaign so far. The gentleman is one of the most interesting characters I've seen from Critical Role. Was there any specific inspiration behind him? Jeff Goldblum.
Gilbert Godfrey. Please go. No, I wouldn't say a specific like character. I wanted to create a character that who works outside of the law, but isn't an archetypical villainous thief lord. You know, an individual who's an overall businessman. And does what it takes to make sure his business runs smoothly. Has an eye open for opportunity and talented individuals and bringing them into the fold. And it's that. It was. And then from there, I wanted to make him seem unique against the world too. It's not just make him a typical human thief, you know, or an underbelly boss. And so that was kind of where the ideas of his lineage.
Real sweaty.
Real sweaty guy.
Yeah.
And his personality. Yeah, I wanted him to be charismatic, but also domineering. You know, very, very welcoming until you begin to cross the threshold of comfort or a line of personal business aesthetic, in which case he'll put you right back in your place and make sure you know who's in charge.
That's how you are with me.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, that's where I got the inspiration. There it is. You got it out of me.
I knew it. Matt constantly going, and that's far enough.
That's it. Okay. Stay put, Brian.
That's a great answer. Sam, this question comes from Finkel is Einhorn, 55, Ace Ventura reference. Does Knott still think her old tribe is a threat to her now that she's obviously grown in power and has made some equally powerful friends? Is that old group still a threat to her?
I think she is reluctant to go confront them because that's a scary thing to, you know, like go home. But yeah, I think she feels a little bit more prepared now that she has some allies and some more fighting ability and stuff like that in case things go badly. But I think she's just hesitant to confront old demons and old memories like that for all kinds of different reasons, not just because she's like physically scared.
Yeah.
But it would just be, you know, a lot to handle. But yeah, I'm eager to see. I assume that confrontation will happen at some point, or at least I would love it if it did. So
yeah,
I'm eager for that.
I'm eager for more of Knott's backstory for sure.
Yeah, I'm eager to see if it comes about naturally or Knott takes the charge to want to pursue it. That's the thing too, is like a lot of these character backstories are open for them to pursue if they ever feel the character need is there. And depending on when they engage with it, you know, it'll change kind of the circumstances of how it comes about.
Yeah, we just went by my old town on the road, and I was thinking like, oh, maybe we should detour now, but there's a timetable. We have to complete our mission within a month, and it's going to take a week or two just to get up there, and so I was like, well, maybe we'll just stay on the path.
Sure.
On the way back.
There you go.
On the way back.
We're heading back home.
Yeah.
We're off the road.
Yeah.
Pick up my laundry, kill my goblin tribe.
See if there's any mail.
I mean, if I'm on the east side already.
Yeah. Might as well pick up some taffy.
Yeah.
Matt, Atomic Robo Tesla wants to know.
Wow.
That's a name.
That's pretty good, right? Is Wildmount's gun technology partially developed from Percy's achievements shared by Ripley in C1? Or did these developments independently parallel in a kill things in a crazy, dangerous manner zeitgeist?
No, the firearms are a direct result of Percy creating them in the last campaign.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it was depending on whenever they decided to engage Ripley, if they had stopped Ripley in Whitestone originally and didn't let her escape, that led to the whole confrontation later. And by then she had been out and about and been able to disseminate the plans for it and actually sell off some weaponry. And she did so in places of heavy trade, Marquette specifically. So at that point, the Pandora's box was open. But the last campaign, it was very, very minuscule. It was just a handful of designs and actual created firearms. 20 years later now, the technology exists, but the materials required and the knowledge to properly create the necessary components to create a firearm are still very difficult to amass or do properly on a larger scale, which is why it's what you've seen, the little times you've seen in Wildmount, they're usually only for elements of the military, and like you saw in Hupperduke, since that's where largely it's created within the Empire, they have it within their own local Towns Guard or Crown's Guard. But yeah, no, it's a direct result of Percy's story and his inability to keep the technology under wraps.
Yeah. On a related note, someone asked, D. Kohler asked, how much joy do you get from Talison's face every time you bring up the fact that firearms are present in Wildmount?
Oh, it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
It's one of the more subtle consequences of the last campaign. It's creeping into the current one. So yeah, it brings me much joy.
Yeah, I bet.
So cool.
It's a lot better than his vicious mockery.
I know. Oh. Watching him just brain melt in the middle of that last week was amazing.
What words were those? So great.
Sometimes you come out of the gate and realize you didn't put your pants on. You know,
But
it just
he committed to it
He did.
so hard.
Well, damn right. If there's anything we've learned as performers, it's that it doesn't matter if you're doing a good job. You commit.
Yeah.
You finish and walk away.
It's like trying to figure out Cannibal Corpse lyrics. Right, Chris? Yeah. Sam, we've only got time for one more question, and it's going to come from Lee574. Do you miss giving inspiration as a bard at all, as far as the songs and limericks, etc.?
Of course I do. I definitely miss giving inspiration. And I have insecurities about this. I feel like I want to be able to do more on the battlefield other than just shoot crossbow bolts. So I'm always on the lookout for other things I can do. I love that Tasha's hideous laughter.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep on looking for other things I can do to be more useful to my crew. Although I realize I am a damage dealer and I should keep dealing damage.
I mean, that is the character you built.
Yes.
But I think Arcane Trickster was a good path for you if that's what you really wanted to do, because it does open up more opportunities for illusion and enchantment-based magic. Hideous Laughter is no joke, even at the higher levels.
Yeah?
If you can find a creature that has either really bad luck or a low wisdom, like, it's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
For like a level 1 spell, are you kidding me?
Yeah, but I do miss giving inspiration. It's the ultimate go-to.
Well, just send Not to a Bard College and,
Sure.
you know,
Sure.
you can take, you know, just
Seems like
multi-class.
Sitcom.
seems like the most imminent path for her. Just to go.
Yeah. Was it minus
-3 charisma,
Minus 3
yeah.
charisma? That'd be.
Yeah.
I think you take inspiration away from people. I think it's how it works.
you
Like
suck
Maybe
the
they grade on a
inspiration.
curve. I'll be okay.
Maybe you could suck the inspiration from someone and then give it to someone else. You know?
Yeah, roll a d6 and lower your attack roll by that much.
Yeah.
Reverse inspiration.
Reverse, yeah.
Perspiration.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Matt, I'm going to sneak this one in here.
Okay.
Anari Joker asks, what's your favorite Mighty Nine voice to mimic as Kiri?
Oh, man. Well, partially Jester, because it's just funny.
Yeah.
All y'all made fun of me for it. Technically. Not's always fun because it's just shrill and ridiculous. I've actually for like the handful, like 1 or 2 I've done Ford.
Yeah.
Ford's
It's funny coming out of Kiri.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. You know,
Yeah.
just sort of making sure it's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think those are my favorites. I think.
Yeah. Someone had a question tonight, we didn't get to it, but about if the Not voice is hard on your throat.
Not at all.
It's not?
No, it's not at all.
Yeah.
It's mostly falsetto, so it doesn't really hurt at all.
And that's what you usually talk in off camera anyway.
Yes. I sound like Mike Tyson all the time.
Yeah.
Like inspiration for Not as a character,
Mike
actually.
Tyson.
Well, on that note, that's all the time we have for tonight. Stick around for Talks Machina after this.
Yeah.
I would like to hashtag thank my guests, courtesy this week of @Remix Mist, RX Mist. Stabby Crow Voicer.
Okay.
That's good. Stabby
like
Crow
that.
Voicer.
Okay, yeah.
Boomstick Non-Lethal.
Good.
And I'm your host, Projectile Tears Cost Extra. You didn't see that episode.
Nope.
Critical Role Campaign 2, episode 24 airs this week.
Damn, we're 24 already.
Yeah. Almost a syndication, guys. Almost. Until then, please don't forget to love each other, and don't worry, it's almost Thursday. Stay turnt, my friends.
Stay turned.
Bye.
Turn.
It doesn't cover the